What is up, guys? I just got back from watching Zach Cregger's new horror movie, Weapons. And not only has this been one of my most anticipated films of the year, but I will say it does scratch a certain itch that I've been pretty much longing for ever since Barbarian, really. And just like Barbarian, Weapons has a central plot that it pretty much throws at you right out the gate so you understand what's kind of going on. And instead of filming it from, start to middle to finish, pretty much a straightforward, film, it would rather start the situation and have you look at it through all these different characters' perspectives. Let me just tell you, that type of plot with this sort of writing, it's just a blend for perfection. Now, something that did catch me a little bit off guard, especially fairly early on, is the tone in which this movie tries to go for, because it's not like a straight up horror by any means. It's like a suspenseful thriller with a little bit of horror sprinkled on top. And then you got like comedy going on there, and that was just like really surprising. I'm like, what? But my God, does it work so perfectly, especially with that bonkers third act. Oh my God. Now, in saying that, this movie doesn't have like a comedic undertone, kind of like The Monkey does, where everything pretty much revolves around the type of humor it's going for, especially within the horror elements. I would say it's more like, if the movie Prisoners was a little bit more horrific and then also had like a splash of comedy in there. I don't know if that's like a good example or whatnot. That's just immediately what came to my mind. Now, another thing I wanted to mention is the fact that with me being like a film and horror fanatic, I probably enjoyed this more than the average viewer is going to. Because the main central plot is more focused on how that plot is then executed and then also the characters, rather than just being focused primarily on like the scary jump scares, horrific, disturbing shit. And you do get a lot of that, or some of it, but that's like not the main focus. And in saying that, I did see quite a few people within the theaters, including my friend group that I went with. They're casual movie watchers, by the way, just keep that in mind. But I did see a lot of them kind of zone out and lose interest, the first 20, 25 minutes that we watch it, because it's relatively slow. It's just trying to set up the next, hour and a half of this movie. But thankfully, there is a situation that happens towards the end, kind of like of the first act of the film, that pretty much lets you know, hey, something is definitely fucked and not right, and it sets the tone for the rest of the film. And from that point on, with how interesting this movie gets, seeing all these different people in the theaters just kind of claiming on the edge of their seats, acting as if they're like detectives or whatnot all of a sudden. You can hear them having conversations about, this is what's going to happen. Oh, this is what's actually happening. Because this movie has so many different layers from all the characters we keep following, and it keeps you so invested, and it makes you want to guess what's going to happen, and it makes you think you know what's going to happen. And the last thing I want to say, guys, and this is more for like the casual viewer that's going to go watch this movie, don't go in expecting something like, The Conjuring, where its main focus is to scare you. Go in expecting something like Hereditary, where its main focus is to grab you and keep you invested specifically with the plot and where that goes. And as a reward for paying attention, it's going to throw some crazy whack shit at you out of nowhere.